Looks like we have 9:30.
Now we do. I call meeting of the Board of Zoning Appeals to order on this Monday, July the 20th. Please do a roll call record of the meeting of the board, Ms. Kukla.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ms. Britt, are you present? Ms. Faith?
I don't think we have a quorum.
No, I don't either.
Yeah, I don't see Ms. Barnes.
Hello?
Or, actually, that's it. I think we have Mr. Donovan,
Here.
Mrs. Johnson.
Here.
Well, they were all here a half hour ago, so I'm sure they'll be back.
I'm here.
Kelly Britt's here.
Okay.
So at least you have a quorum then, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to read
Ms. Britt, we have a quorum. Yep.
you gotta read the 3-person disclaimer.
I didn't.
Oh, there's Alana.
Okay. Okay, go ahead, Ms. Kukla.
Would you like me to call the roll again? Or do you want me to read the preamble?
You read the preamble.
All right, here I go. In compliance with notification requirements of Ohio's open meeting law under COVID-19 emergency declaration, notice of this meeting has been publicly posted. All boards and commissions under the purview of the City Planning Department conducts its meetings according to the Roberts Rules of Order. Actions during this meeting will be taken by voice vote. Abstentions from any vote due to a conflict of interest should be stated for the record prior to taking of any vote. In order to ensure that everyone participating in the meeting have the opportunity to be heard, we ask that you use the raise hand feature before asking a question or making a comment. The raise hand feature can be found in the participants panel on the desktop and mobile version and activated by clicking the hand icon. Please wait for the chair or the facilitator to recognize you and be sure to select unmute and announce yourself before you speak. When finished speaking, please lower your hand by clicking on the raise hand icon again and mute your microphone. We will also be utilizing the chat feature to communicate with participants. The chat feature can be activated by clicking the chat button located on the bottom of the WebEx screen.
Thank you.
Next slide, Marie. Next slide, Marie. All meeting activity is being recorded via WebEx platform. These proceedings are also being live streamed via YouTube for public view. We have provided a link to the meeting for those who wish to speak on a particular case via our website and email. We've also received emails from those who have provided written comments on a particular matter. Back to you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much. We do have now a full complement of board members, Mr. Rulins?
I believe we do.
Okay, let's hit it, Hal. We'll start with calendar 20-045 at 4700 Lorraine Avenue. Go ahead, Ms. Faith.
You're muted. You're still muted.
There we go. Okay. I'm having some technical difficulties.
We can hear you now.
Calendar number 20-045 at 4700 Lorraine Avenue. Shamus O. Incorporated and John Angauer owners proposed to establish use as an event center on a parcel that is split zoned, two-family residential and local retail business, and is also located in the pedestrian retail overlay district. The owner appeals for relief from the strict application of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances as stated in the agenda and the public record.
Thank you very much. Mr. Donovan, will you swear everybody in, please?
You're muted, Mr. Donovan.
Sorry about that.
Now we
For
can.
everyone for this case, I ask you to raise your right hand. I'm going to read a statement. That's going to be followed up by individual confirmations on your part. Hold on. Okay, ambulance. Those confirmations will say, I do, and then you'll give us your name. So here we go. All for this case. Now, do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I do, Christina Christensen.
Anyone else?
I do, Sharon Love.
Anyone else?
Just for this case.
What?
Well, Sharon Love is for another case.
Oh. Anyone left for this case on 47th and Lorraine?
I do, Ashley Schrader.
Okay. All right. History.
History of the property, please, Mrs. Kukla.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The property was originally zoned general retail in 1929. In 2011, it was changed to local retail and placed in the pedestrian retail overlay district. In the records where Mike found, a permit was issued in 1925 to erect a two-story brick addition. 1946, a permit was issued to erect a brick and concrete addition and establish use as a pretzel factory. There are 2 variances on file for this address. In calendar 68-9, a variance is granted to continue use to use the basement for fabricating and packaging of containers. And then in calendar 80-232, and that would be in the year 1980, a variance was granted to convert a second floor to metal spinning manufacturing. In the more recent history, I found that in 1996, a permit was issued to install 2 flat non-illuminated signs. 1997, a permit was issued to erect an awning. 2009, a permit was issued to make alterations to remove a burned portion of the roof. 2010, a permit was issued to install windows. And Madam Chair, 2019, a permit was issued to use the first floor of the building for a special event from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. And that's all that I have that's relevant, Madam Chair. Back to you.
Thank you very much. Yielding to Ms. Wagner for the legal standard we'll be judging the case on.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. Appellant is requesting a use variance and area variances from various regulations of the zoning code, including those related to minimum window facade, off-street parking, landscaping, fences, and sign regulations of the zoning code. To obtain the use variances, appellant must prove that denying the request will result in an unnecessary hardship particular to the property, such that there will be no economically feasible use of the property without the variance, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and the granting the variance not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code. To obtain the area variances, appellant must prove that denying the request will create a practical difficulty not generally shared by other land or buildings in the same district, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and that granting the variances not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code.
Thank you very much. Is the owner of the property present, Maurice?
No, I believe we have the contractor, Christina. I believe you're the contractor.
Yeah, I'm actually helping with the venue space. So I'm going to be the representative today.
Okay, tell us exactly what they'd like to do.
They would like to do a wedding venue focused on less than 100 people, primarily on Saturdays only.
Oh, are we talking weddings? Are we talking bar mitzvahs? Are we talking the funeral, after funeral service where you're going to have food? Or is it a nightclub at night?
So it is going to be any event that's less than 100 people. Alcohol, we are interested in serving it. We aren't really interested in selling it. So if we were able to have like outdoor, like if they were able to provide their own and provide like a licensed bartender, that would be fine. We want to end the events around 11:30 at night. And we're only really interested in Saturday uses.
How are you controlling 100 people? Are they counting them as they walk through the door?
I mean, I think this would be all regulated in the contracts. But however you guys would like us to proceed, we're totally fine with that.
And is there enough parking for 100 people?
There is not enough parking on the lot itself. However, there is public parking across 47th Street. And we are in communications with the Urban Community School located directly across from us for use for their parking space. However, with COVID, it has been very difficult to get in communications with John Haggerty of the Urban Community School.
Has there been a community meeting with neighbors?
Yes.
And
we have full support.
Madam Chair, we also have Ashley Schrader here that has raised her hand to make a comment.
okay, I'd like to hear from Ashley.
So just a few questions for neighbors who actually live close to this unit. We've noticed that you guys are still holding events during COVID, which is against CDC guidelines for Cleveland. I'd like to note that. As of last night, you guys had a graduation party there. The West 47th Street Community Block Club was technically not jurisdiction in this area, but we were not notified at all of what was going on, as we have some members on West 47th Street closer to this area that do participate in our block club. So we would ask that you present to our block club, because we do have some concerns as far as if you are holding events, that means more traffic down our way. We do have issues with people who come from the Shuffleboard or other bars in the area, and they end up parking on our street. And then our residents don't have parking. So we are slightly concerned about that, but we are good. We are happy to hear that you are working with Urban Community to potentially use their vacant lots down there for parking. So if we could get a review with our block club, we are doing WebEx meetings for our block, would be much appreciated.
Madam Chair, we also have Eileen McDowell with her hand raised.
Was she sworn in? Eileen, were you sworn in?
No.
Hello, Eileen?
You're muted, Eileen. Can't hear you.
Did we hear from the councilman by chance, Mrs. Cooper?
No, I didn't receive anything from Councilman. I did receive an email from a block club member that was asking for a postponement as well, but we didn't receive anything from the councilman or the Development Corporation.
Who asked for the postponement?
It is a gentleman from, he's a member of one of the block clubs.
Oh,
It was Eric Bofeld. He's the block club lead for West 47th Street. I'm representing the block club today for him in his place.
That's correct, Madam Chair. That is the gentleman that contacted us this morning. I informed him that we don't usually allow for postponements from the block club, that we usually like to hear from the Development Corporation and or the councilman.
are they represented by Ohio City Inc. at this location? Yes, okay. We didn't hear from them either. Well, I'm not, go ahead. Did the other person who is unmuted or is muted, Maurice, how do we get her?
Well, Madam
Oh,
Chair.
her unmuted. I just see something posted that she was not sworn in.
Yes, Eileen McDowell was not sworn in. She wrote something in the text. I'll read it for you. I apologize if my unmute is not working. I was not sworn in. I live across the street from the building. It is not true that this proposal has our full support. We were never told about this until the other day. And Madam Chair, I also have a Jill Petz with her hand raised. And also, Kelly Britt just raised her hand.
Hello, yes, I was sworn in. I too literally live directly across the street. I received no forewarning except for the letter that you guys provided for today. So I would ask that it be postponed so that we could just get further information. Thank you.
Madam Chair, we have Kelly Britt.
Ms. Britt?
Yeah, Madam Chair, although I agree with Liz that we don't normally grant postponements for a block club, we like to hear from the CDC or the councilman. But I feel like no one else has kind of been involved in this, and that maybe it may serve the purpose that that we postpone this case until the CDC and the councilman can be involved.
I agree with you. You want to make that into a motion, Ms. Britt?
Madam Chair, I would like to add that I have spoken with Adam Davenport, the neighborhood planner for this area, and he recommends approval of this. He says that he's worked with them extensively. However, I don't know about the extent of the community meetings.
Well, I think the community is entitled to a presentation, to be honest with you. And Ms. Britt, if you'd make that an emotion, I will move it forward.
Madam Chair, I move that we postpone the case until the appellant has time to connect with the CDC councilman to therefore get to the community.
I'll second that motion.
Madam Chair, before you call the roll, we do have the applicant with their hand raised.
Hi, I do believe that.
Speaking.
This is Chris. This is the applicant.
Sorry.
I need her name.
Oh, I'm sorry, Christina. I don't know how to pronounce your last name.
Christina Christensen.
Christensen.
I do believe that Ashley Shaw has been kind of leading up the community side of this. She did assist us with the conditional use permit that was granted for us. So we have not been reaching out to the community because we have been under the impression that Ashley Shaw was kind of managing that side.
Well, I don't believe she did. We have a motion and a second on the floor.
Roll call.
Ms. Faith?
I would say yes, and we also typically need to have a contract with the parking when they're doing off-site parking. So that's something else I think we need to include.
That would have to be a 5-year lease.
Correct.
Okay.
Ms. Barnes? Ms. Barnes?
Yes.
Ms. Britt?
Yes.
Mr. Donovan?
Yes.
Mrs. Johnson?
Yes. Do we have a date?
Johnson? Yes, I do. A month out would be August 17th. Do you want to do sooner? We would have August 10th.
No, August 17th is fine. Give them enough time. Okay, without objection, board?
Without objection.
Okay.
Action.
Ms. Faith, go ahead.
Yeah, if we could switch information, the person who's representing for the previous ordinance deviations for Ward 3, I'm happy to switch informations with you, and then we can work to set up a Zoom call for August if you would like. We want to work with you. We don't want things to go awry.
I don't know who that was speaking and what.
Oh, sorry. This is Ashley Schrader from West 47th Street Block Club.
Thank you.
Dr. Liz. Next case.
Next case, calendar number 20-047 at 3135 East 106th Street. Ariana Jones tenant and Jehovah Congregation owner proposed to establish a child care facility in a B1 two-family residential district. The owner appeals for from the strict application of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances as stated in the agenda and the public record.
Thank you very much. Mr. Donovan, swear them in.
Okay. Well, everyone for this case, please raise your right hand. I am going to read a statement. Your response is, I do, and then tell us your name. Here we go. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I do, Ariana Jones.
Anyone else for this case?
I do, Stephanie Turner.
Anyone else? That appears to be all.
Thank you very much, Tim. Mrs. Kukla, yes, the history of this property.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair. There's been no change in the zoning since 1929. In the records room, I found a permit was issued in 1968 to erect a one-story church and parking lot. In 1981, a permit was issued to add a 30 by 33 addition to a meeting hall. There is one variance on file in calendar 80-15. In 1980, a variance was granted to erect a fence to enclose the entire lot, contrary to the code sections of that time. And there are no records of note in the more recent history. Back to you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much. The legal standard will be judging the case on, please, Ms. Wagner.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. Appellant is requesting an area variance from the distance requirements of the zoning code and approval to operate a daycare in a two-family residential district. To obtain the area variance, appellant must prove that denying the request will create a practical difficulty not generally shared by other land or buildings in the same district, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and that granting the variance will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code. Pursuant to section 33703 and 33702G, the board may approve a daycare operation in a residential district if the board determines after public notice and public hearing, the adequate yard spaces and other safeguards to preserve the character of the neighborhood will be provided, and if, in the judgment of the board, the building and use is appropriately located and designed and will meet a community need without adversely affecting the neighborhood.
Thank you very much. Who's going to be the representative of Ariana? She's going to be the one who's going to tell me exactly what I'd love to know.
Yes.
Okay. Tell us exactly what you'd like to do.
I would like to open up a daycare facility. I recently purchased the church from the Jehovah Hall congregation, and I want to open up a child care facility.
You have hours?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Do you have hours of operation?
The hours of operation will be from 5:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. A second shift could be added on, determining enrollment.
How many kids?
And we would cater to the space from my calculation, because the state will actually give me the determination, but the space it seems to be calculated around 53 kids. But they'll come out, they have to, once we start building the classrooms, the state will have to come out and actually do their measurements to give me the actual amount.
Do you have any experience on this?
Yes, I actually have a type B home daycare, and I have had that for about 14 years now.
And how many kids did you have there?
6 kids per shift, 2 shifts. So I have, well, it's not a full 12 since COVID hit. I have like 7 kids total, 4 first shifts, second shift, 2 kids.
Where's the playground for these children?
Well, we wanted to put a playground in on the backside of the building.
Well, it doesn't show.
We haven't started construction at all. I wanted to wait for this to, to make sure I did everything right.
Smart.
Well, right now it looks like it's all paved.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to dig that up?
Yeah, the pave, and the back end of the building, like if you go out on the Soika side, we were gonna, put the soft surface down and fence in the playground area.
Do you have plans that showed it?
We did not do the plans for the playground.
All right, you're gonna have to.
Okay.
And then also where the parking would be and how it's gonna be fenced off and what kind of surface the playground's going to be, et cetera, et cetera.
In the arrival, departure, traffic flow, drop-offs.
So we're gonna have them come in on the 116th end and exit on the Soika end. The parking is about 20 parking spaces there already.
But you got 50-some kids is what you'd like to have.
Yes.
Are you going to have any kind of a bus pickup, drop off, or is everybody bringing their own child?
For the most part, their own kids will be dropped off. Only transportation that will be provided is if we have school agers, on high enrollment of school agers to the local schools. But parents will have to sign, transportation contracts for that.
We need a better plan showing the traffic pattern, where the playground's going to be, how it's going to be, marked off, chained off, fenced off, et cetera, and what the surface area is going to be.
Okay.
Board, any other questions, comments?
Has there been any public interaction with the neighborhood and councilmen, and local development board?
Yes, I talked to the councilman and he's not opposed. He sent a letter over. I don't know if he sent it to you guys, but he sent it to me and the realtor. So I'm not for sure if they forwarded it to your office. And also, Mr. Perry at the Mount Pleasant Development Corp. Been talking with him, so they're not opposed to it at all.
We would need letters from both of them sent to our office.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you know if the councilman forwarded a letter to you guys, or is it okay for me to forward that or have him do it? Because I have the letter from him in my email.
Liz, did we get a letter from Councilman Johnson?
No, I did not receive any letters, no.
Okay, you could just copy that and send it to us.
Okay.
We need to postpone this case, Liz, or Ms. Jones, I'm sorry.
Okay.
So that we could, and we need to receive. I'm sorry about all the excitement downtown here.
That's okay.
Oh my God, it's been a wonderful morning. But we would need that ahead of time so that we could review it.
So the plans with the childcare, with the playground in it?
The way you would enter and exit the facility, what the playground would be, what kind of surface it's going to be, and how it's going to be fenced in.
Okay.
Okay? Liz, maybe August 10th, maybe? Can you have that done by then, Ms. Jones?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Liz, how's August 10th?
Yep, we can put it on August 10th. That's good.
Okay, let's do it. Postpone it till August the 10th. Without objection, board?
Not objection.
Without objection. And Madam Chair, just to tell the appellant, if she has any questions about how her plans needs to look, she can contact her CDC connection at Mount Pleasant. They can make sure she has everything she needs on the plans.
Thank you. A very good suggestion, Ms. Britt. Thank you all. Thank you, Ms. Jones.
Thank you.
Okay. Ms. Faith, calendar 20-050.
Calendar number 20-050 at 3586 East 140th Street. Sharon Love, owner, proposed to use existing single-family residence for a maximum of 5 people. Residential care facility in a B1 two-family residential district. The owner appeals for relief from the strict application of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances as stated in the agenda and the public record.
Thank you very much. Tim?
Will everyone for this case kindly raise your right hand? I'm going to read a statement. At the end of my reading of the statement, everyone who wants to testify on the case will answer with the words "I do" and give us your name. Here we go. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Your name?
Sharon Love.
Okay. Anyone else?
No.
That's it, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much. The history of the property, please, Mrs. Kukla.
Thank you, Madam Chair. There's been no change in the zoning since 1929. In the records room, I only found that a permit was issued in 1912 to erect a one-story garage. There are no variances on file. And in the more recent history, I found in 2010, a permit was issued to replace 18 windows on the property. And that's all that I have, Madam Chair. Back over to you.
Thank you very much. Yielding to the Law Department, Ms. Wagner.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It's not clear in this case. This was written up, so we're presuming that the home is within 1,000 feet of another home. However, it doesn't say that. If it isn't within 1,000 feet of another home, then they don't need to be before the board at all. But assuming that there is another home within 1,000 feet, they're requesting an area variance from the spacing regulations of the zoning code. And to obtain the area variance, appellant must prove that denying the request will create a practical difficulty not generally shared by other land or buildings in the same district, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and that granting the variance not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Ms. Love.
Good morning.
Oh, there's one within 1,000 feet, Mr. Rulins?
No.
Yes, there appears to be at least one within 1,000 feet.
What address do you have? Because I checked 3 of them and they're over 1,000 feet away.
On East 142nd Street. I don't have the.
Oh,
actual
I thought it had to be the same street. Not the same street?
No, within
No.
1,000 feet of the house as the bird flies.
Okay. So you said it's one on 142nd?
Yes.
I'm on 140th, so 142nd
Can you see what's
is
on
over
the-
1,000.
Can you see
Yes.
what's on the screen? Yeah, the two
Correct.
red stars are the other two that I believe, I know the one is within 1,000 feet. The one on 143rd, I'm not sure if that's just outside of the border.
Okay. Okay.
You had a comment you were starting to make about how far away it was?
Yeah, I thought it was just for 140th Street.
No.
I didn't know that you went up and back, so my error.
It's okay. The house looks lovely.
Thank you.
All right, and you want to put 5 adults,
Yes.
all the same sex,
Yes, all male.
all male?
Yes.
And are they homeless people? Are they people that have been mentally ill, or have they been convicted?
Mental health.
And are you going to be living in this home with them?
No, I'm not living there, but I have a 24-hour staff. Someone will be sleeping there, and I'll be there during the day, and I'll go home in the evening. Then I have a person that will be sleeping there. I have 4 employees.
And are they free to come and go during the day?
Yes. They'll be going to school. They'll be getting training. They can't just sit in the house. Have programs set up for them to do.
Did you talk to the Councilman Bishop?
No, I did not talk to him because I didn't know till after I was going to get approved.
Oh, that would help us in making our decision. How about the Local Development Corporation? Where they would have a meeting of your neighbors so that they know what you're planning on doing. Oh, I have.
Okay.
Wait a minute. There's a letter on my screen now. Hold on a moment. From one of your neighbors.
Okay.
Phyllis Lanier. She's at 3598 East 140th. She strongly objects to having a residential care facility located here. It's very close proximity to my home and family. And I have also strongly object to the Cleveland zoning code manipulated and ignored for this purpose. This is my home and my neighborhood, and I want it to remain as such, a family neighborhood. I oppose having a residential care facility due to all the problems, noise, and issues which comes along with a residential care facility. I want to also mention our current coronavirus problem and the spread in Cuyahoga County and how this could be a potential health risk. I feel if you allow this to happen, this would be an injustice to me as well as my fellow neighbors and to East 140th Street. Me, not my neighbors, should not have to live with the inconvenience which we are not zoned. Ms. Sharon Love should be made to follow the City of Cleveland's current zoning and ordinances regarding the matter which are currently in place. Thank you for allowing me to voice my concerns in this matter. And it's signed Phyllis Lanier. This is one of the, yes.
Lori Wagner, could I make a comment?
Yes.
As far as the law goes, residential facilities are allowed in residential neighborhoods for up to 5 people. Federal law and state law considers that this is the same as a family in essence, and that while you can have spacing limitations as far as how far away or close together they can be, but you can't discriminate against the residents based on their disabilities. I just wanted to remind the board of that point.
Who talked last? I couldn't understand. Was that you, Maurice?
No, that was Ms. Wagner.
Oh. So they are allowed to be in residential areas, no restrictions whatsoever?
No, there are restrictions. They can't be within 1,000 feet of each other.
Okay.
But the neighbor's letter to me sounded like she was saying there would be problems because of people's disabilities, and that's not something that
gotcha.
The board is allowed to indulge in that.
Okay, are we going to postpone it for interaction, or are we going to make a judgment?
I think we can make a judgment. Anybody, any other comments from any other board members, please?
Madam Chair, I would think that we might want to get some input from the council person and the CDC working with the appellant before we make a judgment.
Thank you, Ms. Faith. Ms. Britt?
I agree with Ms. Faith. I feel like the due diligence has not been done on this case yet.
Okay. Ms. Barnes?
Pick a date.
Ms. Barnes?
Hello?
She seems to have dropped off the roster.
No, she's right there. Yes,
Oh,
Marlene?
never mind.
Yes. Yes.
What is your comment?
My comment is the same thing. I think we should wait until she talked to City Council, Mr. Bishop, to see what's going on, and we won't have any issues because he's been notified.
Okay. Make the motion, Ms. Faith.
Madam Chair, in the case of 20-050 at 3586 East 140th, I make the motion that we postpone this case so that the appellant has an opportunity to gain or discuss with Councilman Bishop and the local CDC to get input and guidance before we make a decision.
Second.
Call the roll.
Ms. Barnes?
Yes.
Ms. Britt?
Yes.
Ms. Bates?
Yes.
Mr. Donovan?
Yes.
Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
August 17th?
August 17th? Fine.
You feel like you need longer? Okay.
Without objection?
Without objection.
Without objection.
Thank you.
Objection.
Okay, thank you very much. Ms. Faith, go ahead.
Calendar number 20-053 at 1356 West 65th Street. Liz Martin, owner, proposes to erect a new 10-foot by 20-foot, 3-inch, 2-story frame roof addition and an 8-foot by 20-foot, 3-inch, second floor wooden deck, fence, and parking space. The owner appeals for relief from the strict application of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances as stated in the agenda and the public record.
Thank you very much. Tim, swear them in.
Okay. Everyone for this case, please raise your right hand and I will make a statement. You will reply by saying I do and give us your name. Here we go. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
This is Paul Began, I do.
Anyone else?
Is Liz Martin here?
Do you?
I don't know if Ms. Martin is going to be participating.
I do not see a Liz Martin in the participant list.
Okay.
Well, if she says I do, she'll allow herself. Doesn't mean she would do it, but she gave us her name, but she didn't give us I do. So do you or don't you? Ms. Martin?
I do not believe Ms. Martin is on this meeting.
Okay. Is there anyone else? Okay, it sounds like we only have one person.
Okay. History of the property, please, Mrs. Kukla.
Thank you, Madam Chair. There's been no change in the zoning since 1929. Didn't find any records in the records room on this property. There are no variances on file. And in the more recent history, in 2015, a permit was issued to erect a fence. That on that permit, the authorized use of the property or the existing use of the property was stated as single family. And that's all that I have, Madam Chair. Back to you.
Thank you very much. Yielding to the Law Department, Ms. Wagner. Ms. Wagner.
I'm sorry, I didn't unmute. Madam Chair, members of the board, upon requesting area variances from the middle and side yard fence and all three requirements of the zoning code. To obtain the area variances, the court must prove the denying request will create a practical difficulty not generally shared by other land or buildings in the same district, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and the granting the variances will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code.
Thank you very much. Paul, are you going to be representing Ms. Martin?
Yes, Madam Chair, and I do believe you have a letter of authorization from Ms. Martin.
Liz, do we have that?
That is correct, Madam Chair.
You do?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't hear you. Okay, great. All right, go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, this hopefully this will be pretty simple for you here. And I do want to, so the whole thing that we're doing here is adding a 10-foot addition to the back of Ms. Martin's house. All of the zoning issues are because of the existing conditions on this particular lot. So we have an existing fence that goes from the back of the house. So that is the piece with the fence. As far as the interior side yard, we are not encroaching any further into the side yard than they currently at the house does. So we're extending straight back from the side of the house. Unfortunately, the house as it is right now is encroaching within the side yard setback. As far as the off-street parking, I believe you can see in the picture there are not there are next your pictures on the next page. There you go. Where you can see there's an existing curb cut right now, and there's an existing parking space in the yard. I'm not sure how that happened. That was the way it was before Ms. Martin purchased the property. There is not enough room next to the house to put a driveway and build a garage in the backyard. So as far as the off-street parking, there is no way to access the backyard. There's no alley adjacent to this parcel as well. And again, the existing curb cut is for this property. That's the last piece right there. No, there's on-street parking on the side of the street. And we did meet with community development organization and the block and reached out to council zone. We submitted back in March and we tried and not had a response from council zone. We did a correspondence from Michael Engelhardt at Shoreway Development, and he said there's no requirement of Shoreway, no block club for this particular case. He says it's in addition to the back of the house and not adversely affect the neighborhood for them to get involved.
Okay. Any other questions for?
Well, I think
A couple people first. Madam Chair.
I think the parking in the front set area is a problem. I don't think we could bless that. I'm not sure the driveway standards are not. What is the current standard for the driveway?
Let me ask the question. I mean, it's an existing condition where you're not adding it.
It's just a legal condition. But this is where these things get kind of picked up in the process. So we're either going to bless this and send it to precedent for such future in front setback or not. I would say that I would not. I think we can still allow access with the driveway. I think having things like, groceries and everything else, be able to be delivered to the house in that area, be a function that we want to honor. But as an overlay midday parking space, I noticed is a handicap reserved parking sign for the street right in the house.
We're going to have to tear out the air so that nobody else could ever park there.
I would say I would still allow them to have access of a vehicle to be able to drop off groceries, like I said. So I would halfway right now. But parking space, which I would have to go away.
So, Madam Chair, to Mr. Donovan, if you took the parking space, just maybe labeled it as a drop-off zone, that would be acceptable.
Yeah.
And then would we get into trouble with having to grant a variance for having parking for the residents? Is Mr. Riccardi on the phone?
No.
I think so.
Mr. Newlands, I am not a zoning administrator. I've done obviously a lot of projects. I've presented before you many times before, but I think you are probably correct in that one accessory office parking is required for each residential unit. And if you remove this parking space from it, you would then probably, yes, have to grant a variance to allow no off-street parking.
That's exactly what I think.
Make that motion.
Go ahead.
I mean, that's one of the motions. Is there anything else to add to it? Well, then I guess, Madam Chair, in reviewing the project and the testimony given, I would make a motion, we grant the various variances requested, with the exception of the parking space in the front setback. That being said and noted, that means that there will not be a dedicated off-street parking space for this project. And we will also grant a variance that allows that to happen.
Second.
I have a question, Tim. In your motion, she couldn't apply to have her own private parking in the front?
I'm sorry, I couldn't understand it.
Okay, I'm sorry. My question to you, Tim, was just the way you have it worded, she could not apply to have her own private parking space in front?
Are you talking about on the streets?
Yes.
Yeah, no, she could still apply to do that.
Oh, okay. That I just wanted to clarify that because I think if she wanted to work with Detroit Shareway, she could have that dedicated as her own spot because she has nowhere else to park.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Very nice.
All right. We have a motion. We have a second. Let's call the roll.
Ms. Bates?
Yes.
Ms. Barnes?
Yes.
Ms. Barnes?
Barnes, yes.
Yes.
Ms. Britt?
Yes.
Mr. Donovan?
Yep.
Mrs. Johnson?
Yes.
Calendar 20-53 is granted with conditions.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Ms. Bates.
Calendar number 20-054 at 7715 Decker Avenue, Taiwan Dao. Owner proposes to use the existing residence for a maximum of 5 people residential care facility in a B1 2-family residential district. The owner appeals for relief from the strict application of the Cleveland Codified Ordinance as stated in the agenda and the public record.
Thank you very much. Tim, go right ahead.
Everyone, for this case, please raise your right hand. I'm going to read a statement here. Your response is I do, and give us your name if you are testifying for this case. Here we go. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I do. Nicola Cheeks.
Anyone else?
Maurice, was there anyone else?
We just have the property owner, Mr. Dow, had signed up, but I don't see him online.
Okay, we'd probably have to ask the question, does the person who's going to testify have something that allows us in a legal manner to recognize her as representing the owner?
Yes, I did send in a piece of paper that was notarized by Mr. Dow to speak on his behalf.
Okay.
I sent it to Cassandra Jones.
I'm sorry?
I sent it to us Cassandra Jones via email last week or week before.
Liz?
Oh yeah, Liz, did you get that?
Yes, we have that. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
History.
All right, let's do the history of the property, please.
Thanks, Madam Chair. There's been no change in the zoning since 1929. In the records room, I found a permit was issued in 1901 to erect a two-story dwelling. 1971, a permit was issued to repair fire damage to the property. There are no variances on file. And in the more recent history, I found a permit was pulled in 2000 to erect a two-story frame dwelling. And that was in February of 2000. And then in 2008, a permit was issued to board up the property and a board up fee was assessed. And that's all that I have, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much. Going to the law department, Ms. Wagner, the legal standard will be judging cases.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. Appellant is requesting an area variance from the spacing requirements of the zoning code. To obtain the area variance, appellant must prove that denying the request will create a practical difficulty not generally shared by other land or buildings in the same district, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and the granting the variance not to contrary the purpose and intent of the zoning code.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Ms. Cheeks. Tell us exactly what Mr. Dow would like to do.
Good morning. Mr. Dow would like to do a group home that would accommodate 5 females between the ages of 12 to 18 through an organization of the group home is called Transitions Plus. It will be 24/7 care with staff to accommodate the young ladies.
Maurice, with the slide you just, yes, those are also residential homes within 1,000 feet.
Madam Chair, it looks like there's one a few doors down on Decker Avenue, yes.
I believe that's the 7608 Decker Avenue.
And?
Oh, I'm sorry. And that I wasn't aware, we weren't aware of this group home at the time. So I just found out about it when Rodney Wells came out and assessed and gave a letter. The home looks to be vacant, and I did call down to Columbus to the Ohio Mental Health Board, and they told me that the license for that place is expired, but they were unable to determine if they were going to redo it because of COVID and workers working from home, so they didn't have any further information to give me.
Boy.
What about the other one?
What other one? I was only informed of the 7608.
Yeah, I believe, Madam Chair, to Mr.
Yes.
Donovan, I believe the other star, which appears to be on Riddell, might be just outside the 1,000-foot radius.
Okay.
I simply marked it on there so you had some context.
Well, it sounds to me like we're gonna need some paperwork if that's true, that the other one's been abandoned. And I would suggest that obviously we should postpone this. That's one of the items we need. There may be others. Was there a community meeting about this?
Well, I did go out and I spoke to neighbors. I have support the neighbors across the street and down the street.
There wasn't a community meeting.
Neighbors, and I did also reach out to Mr. Bashir Jones, and I haven't Councilman Bashir Jones, and I haven't been able to connect with him in regards to that.
What's the local corporation there in that area? Do we know?
I do not know. I know that the neighborhood planner is Kim Scott, but I don't know the
Oh, yeah.
the CDC for that area.
I think we need to postpone this. There's too many questions. We need to make sure that other place is really out of business. Otherwise, this.
Not to cut you off, but I did get a chance to speak to Ida Foster, who is the owner of that 7608 also. She told me that nobody's there, but she still does hold a license. They expired, so I don't know.
Madam Chair, can we move to postpone, please? I believe we need to get, the appellant needs to get input from the city council person and a statement of support from the CDC.
And maybe she could work with Kim Scott, the planner for the area. So who would put her in touch with the local development corporation?
Yeah, Madam Chair, I think if she can prove that the other home is not existing anymore, she might not need to come back because
right.
she won't be 1,000 feet from anywhere. So,
right.
that would probably be better for her to try to do that.
What would you guys be looking for me to prove that?
Stationary.
Yeah, probably a
Ohio.
a letter from the state saying that facility is no longer in existence.
Okay.
And if you have that, then you probably won't even have to come back to us. But if it's still in existence, then you'll have to speak with the try to get with the councilman and planner.
She would still have to put in the request for permits and have it reviewed and come out as we're saying it is today, and make the case so that it doesn't bounce her into a variance.
Correct.
All right.
Recommendation Kelly, is your recommendation for her to withdraw now or to just postpone?
No, Madam Chair, I think she should just postpone in case she does find out that this other facility is existing. Then she can just come and, present her case to us. But if in the meantime she finds out that it's not existing, then it will, she can go through the process and it'll be determined that she doesn't have to come back.
Gotcha. How's August 24th, Mrs. Cooper?
That's good for us. It's open.
Okay, let's schedule it for August 24th. Hopefully she won't have to come back. She can just call and cancel.
Madam Chair, I will send Ms. Cheeks the information for Kim Scott, the neighborhood planner in the area, and she might be able to assist with reaching out to Councilman Jones.
Thank you very much, Mr.
Thank you, guys.
Objection, board?
Thank you.
On the postponement without objection, August 24th.
Without objection.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Cheeks.
All right, thank you all. Have a great day. Be safe.
Okay. Go ahead, Ms. Faith.
Calendar number 20-069 at 1032 Hartley Road. MCM warehouse owner proposes to install an electronic message center wall sign on a parcel located in a B3 local retail business district. The owner appeals for relief from the strict application of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances as stated in the agenda and the public record.
Thank you very much.
All right, everyone, for this case, kindly raise your right hand. I'm going to make a statement. At the end of it, I'm looking for a response. The response is I do. And then give us your name. You'll be testifying on this case. Here we go. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Name?
Matt Litchfield, owner of National Mattress.
Okay. Anyone else?
I do. Bob Kunzen. I'm with Brilliant Electric Sign Company, representing National Mattress. I do. Miles Huska, also with Brilliant Electric Sign Company.
Okay. Anyone else?
That's it.
All right.
People.
History of the property, please. Mrs. Cooper.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Madam Chair. The property was originally zoned general retail in 1929. It was changed to local retail in 2008. In the records room, there was no information in the records room. There are no variances on file, but in the Acela system, we found that in 1995, a permit was issued to erect a temporary tent for a furniture sale. In 1998, a ground sign and wall sign were installed. 1999, a permit was issued to install 2 signs on the property. 2011, there was a violation notice issued regarding a board up request on the property. And then in 2012, permit was issued to erect ornamental fencing. 2013, a permit was issued to install a 4x8 double-sided internally illuminated pole sign. And in 2016, a permit was issued to install a storefront window with tempered glass. And that's all that I have that's relevant, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much. Moving to the Law Department, Ms. Wagner.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. Appellant is requesting an area variance to install an automatically changing copy sign in a local retail business district. To obtain the area variance, appellant must prove that denying the request will create a practical difficulty not generally shared by other land or buildings in the same district, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and the granting the variance will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code. Pursuant to section 350.14H of the zoning code, the board may grant a variance for the sign in accordance with the following standards. The board determines the proposed sign will not adversely affect the character of neighborhood properties and will not cause disturbance to users of those properties. The design and placement of the sign has been approved by the City Planning Commission or Landmarks Commission as applicable in accordance with the general design guidelines established by each commission.
Thank you very much, Ms. Wagner. So who's going to be the spokesperson for MCM? Bob, are you up? Okay, state your name again.
Matt Litchko.
Okay, tell us exactly where are you going to put this?
I'm the owner of National Mattress and a partner in the property here.
Okay. Where is this sign going to be?
The sign is going to be on the right facing side of the soffit, heading south on East 152nd Street.
On the building or freestanding or what?
Yes, on the building.
On the building. Maurice, do we have another picture? Just they're advertising mattresses on my picture here.
Hold on a second.
Hi, I'm Bob Kunzen. That drawing that you have right there shows the sign placement. If you look in the photo on the bottom right corner of that drawing, yes, that shows the sign and where it will be mounted.
You see the arrow?
Yes, I see the
top.
Okay, fine. Do we have another picture, Maurice?
No, that's the only picture I have of the.
I thought you had one that said National Mattress before.
Yes, that is the existing condition. Right there.
Will that sign go away?
Are you taking this one down?
Correct.
Okay.
Bob?
There are no other signs on the building besides this sign at the moment?
There's another one right around the corner. Looks, is it identical? Yeah, there's another one right on the other side of the building, 90 degrees from that. There should be a photo showing that.
That's the only other signage for your facility?
There is a pole sign at the entrance, at the private drive entrance.
Oh, I see it on the side of the building there in this picture, yeah.
Yes.
Where's the pole sign though?
Pole sign is just a little further behind where the picture is being taken, right at the corner of the property.
What's the dimension on the pole sign?
Offhand, I'm not sure.
Is it?
Is it a static sign?
Yeah, it's in the photo labeled facing north from building on the slide you have up now. To the left.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a static sign. It's not a.
Yes, it's not very intrusive. It's not real tall.
The sign you're going to put on the building is going to be interactive. Is it? What kind of sign? It's not a static sign, right?
No, it's an electronic message center. It will be shown. It will be used to show current specials, offerings, all on premise, of course.
Madam Chair, Ms. Leonard has some additional information on this.
Shannon, go ahead.
Shannon Leonard, City Planning. So this was approved. It went to City Planning Commission a little bit before the COVID shutdown. And City Planning made some suggestions, and I believe Mr. Kunzen took those. And he's here today for the variance, but it was approved at City Planning Commission.
What changes were made?
It was basically about where the placement of the signage was. So the front here, the digital signage, and the size of it. So that's what I have for you of what I remember from that meeting.
Madam Chair, I also spoke with the neighborhood planner, Sharonda Watley, for this area. She said that they did go through design review process and they also recommended approval.
All right. All right. I'll entertain a motion unless you got some other comments. Is this
Madam
going to
Chair,
go on
given the testimony, given the review by city planning and the extra care given through city planning staff, I would make the motion that we would approve the variances associated with the sign.
This is Kelly, a second.
Okay, call the roll.
Ms. Bates?
Yes.
Ms. Barnes?
Yes.
Ms. Britt?
Yes.
Mr. Donovan?
Yep.
Mrs. Johnson?
Yes.
Calendar 20-69 is granted.
Thank you all.
All right, thank you.
Ratify it next week.
I'm sorry?
So we ratify this next week and send you a letter.
Yes.
Terrific. Thank you. We'll watch for it.
Do we have old business?
Yes.
Of course we do.
Do we have any discussion of East 123rd or East 71st, Liz?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
I'm looking at the East 123rd, East 71st, and the new plan we got for Warren Road.
I
those
sent
require
those
discussion?
I do like
I
the
sent
Warren
them
Road.
I thought I sent those to you with the resolution. Did you guys receive the revised drawings for Warren Road in the resolution?
I did.
And the resolution? So we have that. We weren't waiting for anything for 71st and 123rd, were we?
Not that I know of.
Okay, so we're good.
Okay. So ratifying last week's with the new adjusted West Warren Road.
Without objection?
Without objection.
Without objection.
Objection.
I would like to make my suggestion, and I'm open to anybody else who has comments. Maurice,
Yes, ma'am.
is there any way Tim would know, you know, if you could tell him I have Charlie Brown, Sally Smith, and Joe Blow all here ready to, to swear in, so that he knows how many people are there.
I get the list from Liz. Some of the people don't show up. Their names appear differently on here. So that's kind of hard to do. You can work through that, but I actually like what Tim is doing because he's just calling the people's names, and that way we get 100% right before they testify who's actually here.
Yeah.
Somebody else have comments, please?
By the way, we're still recording. I don't know if you realize that.
Yes,
We're not
we are.
off the record
We are
yet.
recording, and we are on. If you want to adjourn the meeting, we can continue to talk and turn off the recording.
I'd like to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
I did have one more thing. I'm sorry. I have a request for postponement that came in early this morning. It's for a case that's coming up next week. It's the applicant is in between attorneys. I spoke with our attorney this morning, Lori Wagner. She's she thinks it's all right if we postpone this. This will be their third postponement, I believe. This is the applicant regarding the midway parking. I don't have that calendar number off the top of my head, but I did receive it this morning. I figured we could sort of vote on it this morning if that would be all right.
This is Lori, and I would just wanted to make my statement as to the rationale. I mean, the person got a first postponement because he was in the hospital having surgery, which was supported by a doctor's letter. The second postponement, I think, for March, he still had a doctor's letter saying he couldn't participate. Now, the end of last week, it appears he fired his attorney. So I don't think we should give him a long time because he supposedly owes a lot of money to the city that he might be delaying to try to pay. But I think maybe give him 3 weeks is a reasonable amount of time to get a new attorney.
Yeah, then the new attorney can ask for a postponement.
Yeah, we told him last week if he wanted a postponement for medical reasons, he had to submit some kind of doctor's letter. But there wasn't anything to justify the third. So
I agree with your rationale.
I think we want to make him go forward without an attorney. So
No.
Oh, boy.
I have the calendar number. It's calendar 19-301. It's a midway parking administrative appeal.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, I think we can move. I think we can move forward to give him. I think that's fair to give him 3 weeks to get an attorney, and then his attorney can handle whatever he needs to do moving forward. So I'm okay with that approach.
I agree.
Okay, 3 weeks would be the 10th, August the 10th.
Without objection.
All right, without objection.
Without objection.
Without objection.
All right, so, all right, thank you.
Okay.
Then we can adjourn and speak
We adjourning?
off the record.
That's off the record, Carol.
Yeah.
I just ended the YouTube stream.
Okay.
Yeah, they just recorded on TV 20. Henry, he's probably not, he might not be there.
No, I saw the live button go off, so I think we're not live.
Thank you so much, Henry. Yeah, we're done. Thanks.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
So did the